Today we're going to be doing, I'll show you. We're going to be doing a wreath with the Dollar Tree mesh. I have promised several people that I would show you what it looks like to do a wreath with one of these, or a whole bunch of these. So if you see a mess in the back, just ignore it. It's the week before school starts, so I've been crazy busy and just haven't had time to clean up. So we're going to get started. We're going to use, the majority of things we're going to use are going to be from the Dollar Tree. Because I think if I'm going to show you how to do that, I want to show you the whole thing. So we'll get started. So we have one of the Dollar Tree frames, and these are the 14-inch Dollar Tree frames. I have all the fall colors here. I got these there. I thought these were cute. They're just little, corns. And I had some other cute little things, like this little scarecrow head. I like that. So, I also have a whole bunch of the ribbon. So, we'll use some of the ribbon. Let's see. Maybe we'll use the 4 varieties. Is that right? Or is there 5? There's 5 varieties. Okay, so I'm going to use every one of these colors, and we're going to use these ribbons. So that'll be fun. And what I've decided I'm going to do, and this probably won't be the only one of these I do, because I get this question a lot. And you can certainly do pretty much any method with this mesh. It might come out a little bit smaller, but that doesn't really mean a whole lot. It just means that you might have to use a little bit more. You know, it might not be as fluffy, but it'll still work. So, the method I have decided we're going to use is the sunburst. So we're going to do a fall wreath in the sunburst. So, that means we're going to be cutting. So I'll get these open and show you what we're going to do. I don't know why I never think about opening these beforehand, but I don't. Okay. Okay, so you can also get the pipe cleaners at the Dollar Tree, just so you know. And that's what we're going to be using. So let's see if I can get my little package out. So look at this. I got this from the Dollar Tree. How great is that? I love this little goldish color. So, and these can be kind of hard to find, so I was pretty excited when I found them there. So I'm going to pull all of the little coppery gold ones out. Now, of course, I'll need more than this, but I just wanted to show you what kinds you can find at the Dollar Tree, and these are really good. It can be really hard to find these nice sparkly ones. Okay, so I will cut all of these in half because I will not need the whole thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to make bundles. And if you haven't seen any of my videos before, this is how I like to do. If I'm making anything like the curly method, the sunburst method, anything where you have to put several together, I always put the whole thing together and then I put it on the wreath. I just find that for me, it works a lot better. So, and let me tell you, I'm going to roll all my mesh out together, but I'm going to do it slightly different because I was watching Trendy Tree the other day. Love Trendy Tree. And they used this and I thought, oh, how smart. So we're going to do it too. So I'm going to get all my mesh lined up together like this. And look, we're rolling it face down. So then it doesn't roll back. I mean, how ingenious is that? And how easy is that? And why didn't I think of that before? Okay, so I like to get all of my mesh together and just cut a clean edge. And I just do that because it, you know, I'm measuring and it just makes it a little bit easier. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut every 10 inches, just like I would do if I had a 10 inch. So, get my mesh in line here. And I'm just going to use my mat that has the nice measurements on it and my rotary cutter, just because it's a lot faster. It's a nice clean cut. It just, if you're going to be making wreaths, it's a really great tool to have. So, who knows? Hopefully you were the winner of the mat and the cutter. Okay? So see, the reason I like this cutting mat is because it goes all the way up to 36 inches. So when I'm cutting something like this and I'm cutting like 10 inches, I can pull it out and I can make 3 cuts. Boom, 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 just like that. And it's a lot faster and it really makes a nice clean cut. So I'll just set those aside and do the same thing. So I'll just pull the 3 out like this. Okay. Get to my 30 mark. And then cut 1, 2, 3. So I will cut quite a few of these rolls to put around. Now when I get to the end, I'll tell you how many I ended up using. But for now, we'll just start with this one. Okay. So I'm going to cut these in half because I know I'm not going to need the whole thing. I may even need a quarter of one. Let's see. Let's just try one. I think I will do. I'm going to do a half it because I don't want to cut it too short. That could be a disaster. Okay. So I'm just going to cut a few because I want to show you what I'm going to do. Okay. So, I cut my mesh at 10 inches. So I am going to cut my ribbon at 12. So I have my handy little cutter here. This is just a piece of cardboard that's cut at 6 inches. Now I was watching Deco Exchange the other day, Damon Oates, and I saw him using one that was at, I think, 12 or 14 inches. So you could do it that way too, and then you would just cut it one on each end. But I'm used to this, so I'm just gonna keep doing this. So all I do is I just take this and I just roll it around here like this. And then take my scissors, cut it, cut again, just like this. See, that's why I like to use this. And then I can fold it over and cut them all at the same time. It just really is a time saver, because when you do wreaths pretty often, and this can be one of the most time consuming parts, cutting the mesh, cutting the ribbon. So trying to do as many as you can all at once is always the best way to go. So, and when I make these bundles, I like to put a couple different kinds of ribbon together. So that's what I'm going to do. So I can show you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use my tool again. And this ribbon that comes from the Dollar Tree is wired. It is wired ribbon. So that's what you want, because it is a lot easier to deal with. And it looks a lot prettier because you can really make it stand up. Okay. So I'm just folding it over and cutting at an angle. Just kind of gives it a nice finished look. There we go. Alright. Now, I can show you what we're going to do. So I've got some ribbon cut. I have some pipe cleaners. And I have the mesh. So there's 4 different colors of mesh. I'm going to put all 4 colors in every bundle. Now there's a lot of different ways you could do this. You could do, you know, 4 gold, 4 green, 4 orange. Or you can do like me. Or you could do 2 colors and switch them out. There's a ton you could do. It's really just up to you. So what I'll do is I will take the mesh and I'm going to pull it at opposite ends, just like that. I'm going to kind of fold the center in just so you don't see, you know, anything rough. And then, boom, we have this cute, like almost like a little bow tie. So I'm going to hold that in my finger. Now if you have trouble with your hands, if your hands hurt, there are so many different ways that you could set these aside. You could put something heavy on it. You can use chip clips. You can use clothespins. You can use pipe cleaners. And then just put them all together at the end. It doesn't make any difference. So I'm just going to do the same thing. Pull, tuck in the middle. I'm just going to put it in my hand. I want to make sure it's going the same direction. Okay. Then again. So I'm going to do this with every one. Pull opposite corners. Tuck the middle in. Pinch in the middle. And then put together. So when you're doing this, you don't want to pull it so hard that you're going to pull the mesh apart. You just want to pull it so that you get these nice little details at each end. Then you're just curling the little edges, and you're just doing that so that you don't have any rough edges. And then there you go. So this is a little bundle. Well, it's not quite a bundle yet, but it is. It is a bundle, but I like to add in my ribbon when I'm doing this. So I'll take 2 pieces of ribbon, I'll find the middle, pinch it together. I'm going to go on top of this bundle. I'm going to take my pipe cleaner, I'm going to go around, and this time I'm going to pinch it up like this. I'm going to hold it in my hand like this. And the reason I'm doing this is because So this is very similar to the petal. Sorry, allergies. But I want it to stand up, so I'm going to hold it like this in my hand, take my pipe cleaner, and I'm going to twist it several times. Just like that. So this is why I put my ribbons in before I put this down. Because if you put this down and then you want to try to put in ribbons, you've got to take this back apart, which means there's a chance that you're going to get more fraying, because the more times you touch this stuff, the more fraying you're going to get. So when you're making something like this, you want to touch it as least times as possible. So I'll put everything together, I will set it aside, and I will continue making bundles. So I'll show you this one more time. And I don't really care. I'm not going to make a pattern of having everyone with brown on the bottom and yellow. I kind of like to vary them. I just think it makes the colors show up more. So I intentionally don't have all brown at the bottom, so on and so forth. So take it the way that it wants to curl, pull it opposite sides like that, then just tuck those little center pieces in and scrunch them up. So you're going to have almost like a bow tie, like a little flower petal. Same thing. Pull, tuck, pinch. There we go. And again. Pull, tuck, pinch. And one more time. Pull, tuck, pinch. Hi, Bella. Alright, so now we have another bundle together. So I'll do the same thing. I'll take 2 pieces of ribbon, just like this. I'm going to find the middle. I'm going to put it on top. Now I'm going to take my tie, pull it around, and push that whole bundle up, just like that. Hold it in my hand, and then twist it nice and tight. So, we're going to do this, okay? And then, once we get a whole bunch of these made, we're going to come back to our frame, and we're going to go right in the middle and tie it off, just like this. Okay, see, and I'm just tying it in between the 2 in the middle. See how pretty that looks? So, since this is the Dollar Tree mesh, and it really is a lot thinner, it's going to take more bundles. But that's okay, because really it doesn't take that much more time to do them, and it still turns out so pretty. So I'm going to keep making bundles, and then when I come back, we're going to put them on our frame. Come on, Bella. And then we'll decorate it. So I'm going to make a place for my dog here. Come on, girl. And I'm going to work on these, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to decorate it and just have some fun. So I'll be back. Okay, I have a ton of these made. So I wanted to go through the next step. Now I've already kind of shown you, but I wanted to show you several more. So I will just take one of the bundles that I made, and I will place it right in between this middle section. I like to do in between both of these. Now if your pipe cleaners are not going to go around both, that's okay, just pick one or the other. And then I'll push it over like that, kind of make sure that all my ribbons and everything are going in the right direction. And then I'll put another one on. These love to stick together. Okay. So this is what I'll do. I'll just keep putting one on in between those two. Tie it several good times, at least 3, and then push it over. So see, this is what it's going to look like. So this is just a couple in there right now, but I'll just keep going on this. I'm not going to make you watch me put every one in, but I want to show you a few more. So just go in between 2 and 3, like this. Tie it on. Now you would tie it on pretty good and tight, and then push it over. Just kind of make sure that your ribbons are going in the right direction. All your mesh is out, like that. Now this is the thinner mesh because it's the 6-inch, so it will take more. If you've done a 10-inch before, just anticipate that it's going to take more bundles, but that's okay. It still is going to look just as pretty. See that? See that look pretty? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep going all the way around, putting these on in the middle, and I will just go over when the section that I'm working on has enough and I can't see any, I can't see through to the frame. So you want to push it over enough so that you can't see to the frame, like that. But see, already I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on this one, and usually when I'm doing these in my first section I use 5 or 6. So you can see that because this is a thinner mesh, you'll have to use more in the sections, but that's okay. There we go. See? It's going to look so cute. Now you can do pretty much any method that you've seen with these 6-inch. There are a few that would be a little bit more difficult, but I can tell you for sure that using the curly method, using this method, doing the petal flowers, you can do any of those with this size mesh. So don't be worried that you can't. You can even do the pull through and the push through method with that as well. So I'm going to just keep adding and going around, and then when I get done I will tell you how many rolls I used so that you will know approximately how many you would need to get. So, and I am using the Dollar Tree frame, so all the supplies that I'm going to be using you'll be able to get at the Dollar Tree. So I'll be back when I get all the way around, and then we'll start decorating with some of the cute things that I found at the Dollar Tree. So I'll be back. Okay, my camera cut off, so I'm not really sure what it cut off, so I'm just gonna say this again. So this sign came with a string, and generally I like to try to use the string if I can. So all I do is put it on the base and go down, or put it on the wreath and go down to the base and just see if I have enough room to run it through to the wire frame. So in this case I do. So you can see I'm just pulling it through right there. So I should be able to use the ones at the top. Now for the other ones, this base right here is very thin. See, it's very thin. So I have a couple of choices. I can drill a hole in it with my trusty drill. I love power tools. I can put some, I can glue some felt on it and then use my staple, which that works really well. But with this being as absolutely thin as it is, I think I'm going to drill a hole in it because I'm afraid even if I put this felt on it, it would come through. So I will get out my drill. I'm just going to drill, I'm just going to kind of push it off my table like this. And I want to drill a hole pretty close to the edge. Now I am using a very fine drill bit. About right here. That's it. That's all I'll do with that. And then I will use my floral wire. I'll just take some off. This. And then I'll run it through. Okay. So there we go. I'll come around here the back and I'll tie it off like this just to make sure it's going to stay down. I'll do the same thing with the other side. Okay. Okay.
And hello there.
Hey, Carson.
Hi.
Hey, baby.
Good.
Okay. So I've gotten these on. So I'll just come back to my base and I'll figure out where I want to put it. And I tell you, if you want this to really stand out, you can come to the back and kind of push it out like this. See, like that? And then it'll stand up some more. And then I can kind of nestle this sign down in it. And then I'm just going to move the mesh aside until I can see the base. And then I'll just run it around the back and tie it. Huh, Carson? Okay. So see from the back, this is where I tied it on right here. Okay, so I want to do the same thing with the other side. So I'll just kind of move my bundles around and find the base right here. And I will just tie it on. If I'm worried about this coming loose, I will come back and add some wire around it. But for now, I'm just going to tie it on, and then I'll make sure it's even more secure later. Alright, I do the same thing with the wire. I'll just move, mesh around, pull it down to the base, and just wrap it around. Alright, like that. There we go. See, that's all it takes. Then you have your sign attached. And of course I'll do the other side as well. Alright. So now we have our cute little, let me make sure you can see this well. Here we go. We have our cute little gourds we could put in. So I'll just figure out where I want to put them. And I'll just do the same thing. I will just push it down to the base. And remember, we went in between 2 and 3. So you can bring it all the way down. You can kind of have it standing up some, and then you just come around and tie it on. Just like that. See? And then there it is. How cute is that? I like that. See, and I love this. You can just write anything you want on it. You like that? Yeah. We've got our little corns we can use. So there's several ways you could put these on. So you could put them like this. I like that, where you can see the little bit of raffia there. So there's a couple ways we could do this. So this is the same thing, it's styrofoam. See? So we can use our little ice pick and jab our little hole through it. Grab one of our pipe cleaners. I don't know if I got that other side very well. Let's see. This one has beads on it, so I had to just kind of use a little bit more force. There we go. There we go. All right. See, and you're never going to be able to see that when we put it down. So just move the mesh aside. Find that frame. See, and the great thing about a method like this is it's so full that even if you tie something like this down, you can just refluff it around it and then you can't see it. See, there it is tied in the back. You see? Isn't that cute? I like that. Okay. You can kind of have six sitting up like that. We've got several of these. So we can just do the same thing with this. Just kind of move things around. Put it down. Kind of move it where we want. And you want to be able to see it. And then just tie it off. See, just like that. Alright. Oh, see? It's just like a little sparkle of color there. Huh. Okay, so that's what I think. I don't even think we need a hot glue gun. I think that is the kind of things that you can do when you get the mesh at the Dollar Tree. I mean, it's just adorable. So I'll keep putting all of the little embellishments on, and once I get all that done, I'll snap a little picture of it so you can see it, and it will be on the video. Well, of course you'll know that. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this and that you will think of an idea for yourself. Now, see how this kind of has the little phrase on it, and that's just because of the method that it's used. But honestly, I think it kind of adds to it. It's just, this method is very, I don't know, almost rustic. I think it's really cute. But I will get out and use, this is what I use. So this is the E6000 adhesive spray, and I love this stuff. So you just spray it 2 or 3 coats, and it will just really help stop any more fray. You're always going to have some fray. There's just really nothing you can do about that. That's just kind of how mesh is. I mean, it's a woven, and when you cut it, it unweaves. But that's okay. It kind of adds character as well. So, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you thought. And make sure to comment and subscribe. And I will see you again soon. I have several more coming up. And I am ready to start on some more Halloween and some Christmas I'm dying to do a couple Christmas ones that I've been thinking about lately. So I'm going to work on those, and I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.